Hi Tasha, I saw your question about the sepia toning and I thought I'd just go ahead and make you a short little tutorial. It's actually a very straightforward process and it is exactly the assignment that we are working on this week with split toning. So first of all, you need to convert your image to black and white. Click on your highlights and choose a nice brown tone. It's maybe a little too red. You can play with your saturation here a little bit. Click on the shadows and maybe we'll go something a little bit warmer there. And again, kind of play with it to make it to more or less where you want it. And then you can of course change your hue if you want. I think this is pretty close to where I like it. And change the balance a little bit too. I think shifting the balance a little bit here to the left will bring out some of those nice warm, rich brown tones. Now I think that this is still a little bit too saturated here at this point, so we are going to desaturate both a little bit. Somewhere in there. Now of course doing it by hand is one way, and the benefit of that is you can edit all of these little sliders so you can see how it affects the image. Of course this is a piece of sugar photographed under 100x magnification, so it's red sugar, so it's going to have strong red tones. That's why that red slider is going to make such an impact. Of course these sliders are going to change based on the use of these sliders will change based on the photograph. Now the other thing, the really easy thing to do is use a preset. Now we haven't really talked too much about presets here, but they actually have a sepia tone built right in. Now you can see right off the bat that it makes a really high key image. And if you look again, they added some split toning in here. They changed the black and white mix sliders a bit. But more importantly, they added a pretty strong S-curve here. And if we just do a little undo, you can see it went from a straight linear to being a S-curve. And the other thing they did here is they added some fill light. So I think that that's way too high key for this image. We're going to bring the fill light way back down. We are going to bring the brightness down a little bit, and then we're going to get pretty close to the area we need to be in. You can see we still have a little bit of overexposure here because of the edits, so we can move the recovery slider over and maybe even the exposure slider down just a bit. So anyways, that's it in a nutshell. As you can see, it's very easy. Once you decide you have a look that you like, you can make your own preset. So click here on the button and you can call it modified sepia maybe. And of course by default it will go to user presets, and you can obviously include any of these settings that you want. We're going to just go ahead and check them all and create. So now if we use this modified sepia preset on a new image, and we'll go to another one in the series, it's just going to look pretty similar. Maybe this one here. Click on modified preset, and automatically all of these settings are quickly applied. So let me know if you have questions. That's it in a nutshell, and appreciate your asking questions.